one of my big pet peeves about giving advice to YouTubers.
I want to talk about when smaller streamers give advice to people who aren't as successful as the smaller streamer. And one of the big topics is about smaller streamers telling people who aren't as successful as them to not focus on the money. Now, when you hear that, it's a little controversial a little bit because it's true. It's not all about the money, and they want to get you in that mindset about how money is just the consolation prize. The bigger prize is that you have people who watch you, care about you, and support you through the community. And that's something that they should do. But I think that for people who aren't as fortunate enough to get money, I don't think the person who does have whatever somewhat little success that they have to tell someone who is trying to become successful to tell them not to focus on the money. Because I know from a smaller streamer standpoint, regardless if you have a job or something, maybe YouTube is half of your income and then half of it is like a job, or some people can say, well, this small success of a YouTube channel might be my income. Regardless, either way, the person who has the smaller success of the channel, you're going to worry about money. We're all human. We're all thrown into this life where we have to worry about money. I don't care who you are, unless you're rich. I don't care who you are. You're going to deal with money. Even the person who is successful. The only way you can tell someone, in a sense, that you don't need to be worrying about the money, it is because you have some sort of confidence that you are going to be financially free. And that gives you the confidence to tell other people about that. But you can't tell them as they're grinding and struggling to get to where you are. Because eventually they will learn that lesson about money. They will. But for people who are struggling to get to where you are, to at least make it so YouTube, Twitch, or other social media platforms pay at least somewhat half of the bills and get some sort of freedom off of this, you cannot tell smaller streamers or smaller people who are still trying to grind their ass off to not worry about money. And I think it's even more disrespectful, I think, if you are rich and telling other people that, because you can confidently say that because you're financially free and you know what the true meaning of YouTube, Twitch, and social media is. Everyone knows it, but the problem is that it's the finances is why they won't be able to get it. And I'm not saying you have to go and buy your friends. I'm just stating that for taking care of ourselves on the platform is rule number one of being a YouTuber. Now, when you start a channel or something, the people who think that they're going to blow up or whatever, you can't think like that. You cannot think like that. It's going to be a struggle, especially if you are not known for something with another audience that you can just bring on into YouTube. If you don't have any of that, it's going to be a real struggle because I've been doing it for 8 years and I'm still going strong here, as strong as I can with my mental well-being. But I'm just saying that if you are a rich person telling, like, I don't know, maybe like a small streamer who has somewhat of success, or people who are still trying to get to whatever success that they can get off the platform, to tell them to don't focus on the money, I don't think you should be saying that, or the term needs to be changed up a little bit. Because personally, when you're rich, you're financially free and you understand the true value of the job that you are in. So then you're allowed to say that to other people. But if you're telling, but if a small streamer who has somewhat of a success, right? I keep using the example of maybe paying like half the bills that you pay for your personal needs to what you need to pay to keep living, that kind of thing. They also should not be telling people not to focus on the money while you're struggling to get about money. And I hate it when those two people tell the other people not to worry about it. Because if that is so true, you would not ask for monetization on your channels. You would not ask for people to tip. You would just do it for the greater good of what you love. And that's what I'm saying. It's really, you're just shooting yourself in the foot is what I'm trying to say, basically. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Because I know when a small streamer, like, struggling, like $300 to $400, I know they need that money to continue on in life. And they know they're not financially free. And they know they're struggling with money also, and you shouldn't be telling someone who is trying to struggle with a YouTube channel just saying, don't worry about the money. The only true time I feel like you can say that to someone if you are financially free. Now, it could state that someone who is a small streamer who has somewhat of success also has a job that covers half of the bill. And because of that, they get to say, now that I can confidently say that my bills are covered, I can confidently say to other people, don't worry about the money. And I still think you should not do that and tell people that. That is not what this is. Because personally, I was told one time, like, when I wanted to, like, get advice, I, like, they, like, whatever they felt like that they did their best, or what the company, or what, whoever tells them what to say when someone asks the question, or, like, they want to give them their own advice, they tell you that advice, but every streamer that I've met that teaches the advice, someone has to say, don't worry about the money. And you come with two directions with this. You either think, well, he's financially free and has the right to say that, and that's just blowing in the wind for us. Or it's a small streamer that has at least like somewhat of success on YouTube, but has another source of income that is now financially free and now gets to say that to other people. And that shouldn't be that way. That really shouldn't be that way of how people say that. Me personally, like, when I started this, like, I'm not expecting to make a lot of money with this. Like, I never thought, like, this would be, like, so long, like, I wouldn't even dream of making that money. But when people come and say, don't think about the money, and I'm like, I go ask you the question, you're telling me not to think about the money, but you're a small streamer. You're still focusing on trying to make whatever the enough money you need, like, survive in your own little world. So do not tell me not to worry about the money when you are still worrying about money yourself. And it's very contradicting. Now, I can say, like, I know, like, if you have a second job that helps you make you feel like you're confidently saying this to me because you're financially free. But part of it is, like, if you want to be a full-time YouTuber and make, like, $300, $400 and that's your only source of income, I'm going to worry about the money because I'm not financially free yet, unlike you. Now, it's true that I could get another job and then get my financials clear also along with YouTube. That's always an option. But I'm like, if I get that option, but I'm not gonna go tell someone like who's struggling. Like, I'm gonna give them my advice, but I'm not gonna say like anything about money, because everyone truly knows that until you're financially free, money is going to be a problem. We're all human. We were thrown into this life, and I don't feel like people should be saying that. And I feel like when people, like, and this hurts me a lot, because, like, I remember, like, I was, like, watching this random ass person, like, going on a stream. And he was like, and this person had a mild success rate. Like, he was making like $300. That's not bad. Believe me, that's not bad. Like, each stream got like, I don't know, like $300 or something. Like, puts like his bills and like what he pays for on the left side of the screen. And if you total it all together, it's like $3,000. Let's say $3,000. And he makes like $1,500 a month with that stream. That's paying half the bills, right? And then some person who is trying to get to where he is wants the advice, and when it comes to the money portion of the advice, he says, don't worry about the money. That breaks my heart, because we don't know what the person's life is, and he wants to make this part, like, it's some sort of part of success money, or like whatever money he can get off of it towards the bills and everything, because he's not going to be financially free. He has to worry about the money. He has to worry about paying his bills and everything. And for you, I honestly feel like if you're going to tell someone not to worry about the money, that means that automatically tells me that you're financially free. Like, you have some relief of your finances. And that's why you tell people not to worry about it. But on the other side, this person's worrying about his bills every single day. So you cannot tell someone to focus on no money when he is struggling to survive. And the only income is this YouTube thing, and he needs to get it to where, like, he can at least, like, pay his, like, if it's, like, half, like, you are, like, the small streamer, you're still going to be worrying about money, because you need to figure out how to pay the other half of the bills, and part of it is, you're still going to be struggling, you're going to, like, be more of a streamer, and try to see if you can get inches and inches of more of that money, or get a second job. But don't contradict saying, like, don't worry about the money, because, like, we're all human, we only have to deal with this, and it's just, like, it drives me nuts. And it really drives me nuts when it's a rich person who's, like, very successful on YouTube, makes a lot of money, and is financially free, like 6 figures, telling someone, even small streamers who have small success or people who are trying to be like that, stating that don't worry about it drives me nuts when they say that, because like that's something that you should not be telling these people, because they're not financially free as you. And because you're financially free, you can confidently say you need to like say it in a way that isn't just like, oh yeah, don't focus on the money or anything, like, because we all know that you're going to be a greedy fucker and just say like, oh, you're going to spend the money on like whatever you want and whatever you need. I'm not saying that we need to be greedy with the money. I'm just saying for some people, they want to use this as their jobs. For you to tell them not to worry, it's kind of like a letdown for them, because they need to think about the money. Like, once they realize that they're financially and like understand all my problems, or like that like life needs me to worry about like goes away, then they can see your side of this. Like, I have a great community, I have great people, I'm financially secure, and I get to do things in life. Then the bigger picture of what YouTube and Twitch is standing for comes to life. But you need to think about the hard struggles, because I know some of you were like a YouTuber or person like down on the ground, like trying to scoop it back up, or you decided to go do something else, like branch out, be famous somewhere else, and then come back to YouTube and try to rise up what you wanted to start it from a long time ago. But regardless, for some people, they just grind their like they weren't a famous whatever, they didn't have a lot of people, an audience or something, like they grinded from the beginning to the end. You've been like us, and I, like some people, would ask other people, even the people who are rich to this day, ask people like, how did you get successful? How did you do this? And I know they're gonna about like, yeah, it's gonna be a really big thing. Like, if you're only in this for the money, you need to stop thinking about that right now. And I'm just like, well, that's easy for you to say because you're financially, or like you have some sort of a finance on YouTube and you have a job that gives you the financial freedom. So obviously you can say that, but we're struggling Americans right now trying to feed ourselves and to make this like some shield while we get another job to like help us pay the bill. So I'm just like contradicting on that. Because when you really look at it, life like this, we were all thrown into life like this. We were like, we didn't know what the world was going to be when we were growing up and all that. We didn't know. We were learned that money was going to be the only way that we can actually live our lives. And once we get the amount of money to like survive and make like a nice happy home, which everyone should have, by the way, which we are doing a shitty job at it. We're not even thinking about our homelessness. Like, everyone deserves a happy selling home. Like, there should be a bottom line of financially, not financially, but enough for like we can get a house, a bathtub, showers, like whatever the basic line is. Everyone should be like that. But it's just not happening. And you don't get to laugh at them, say, hey, you want to be a YouTuber? Ha ha ha. Well, guess what? You can't focus on the money right now. You have to focus on everything else. So, ha ha ha. They laugh at you. Like, that's so stupid. Because me personally, I'm going to worry about the money until I'm financially free. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be generous. Because, like, the one thing that you need to know about rich people, like, you generous. Like, you extremely, like, literally, like, I will donate to communities. Like, if I see someone in need and help, I would help. Because, like literally, you have to be generous with the money. Because you don't know what you're going to do with all that money. I know a bunch of rich people, like, makes, like, let's use Donald Trump, for example. I know he makes, like, millions and millions of dollars. And he is not just all that millions of dollars. So what do? You be generous about it. But people don't want to be generous. They want to be greedy until their dying days before they be generous. Like, you know how much money you have and know how much you have to keep maintaining in order to live the happy life you're in. But the extra money you're getting could be used for something towards something to help other people and charities, and everyone needs to start thinking about. Because of that, because of your financial freedom and like that, you have no right to go to other people who just struggle, like trying to get to where the luckiness of YouTuber, being a famous YouTuber, and cannot say, don't worry about that. Because everyone needs to step back and realize that they're only saying this. The rich people are only saying this. It's because they're financially free. Like, they don't have to worry about some of the struggles that we are right now. And that's why they're saying this. So to all small VTubers, small, like, streamers or whatever, ignore that advice right now. Because I know that's hammering you inside. Ignore it. Just ignore it. They're talking out of their asses because they're financially free and they think they're so much better than you because they're rich. Just ignore it. You are allowed to think of it until you're financially. You are allowed to. And then you can understand the rich side of people, why building a community, exploring everything with people and everything is really fun. You get to truly experience why it's more than just the money. And for small people who have somewhat success and still, and the smaller people who are trying to grow their, you are still dealing with financial stuff. I don't care who you are. Unless you have a small job or something that pays half the bills and the YouTube pays somewhat of a percentage of the bills. then you'll be like a pretend rich person saying like how you don't need to worry about the money or anything, you gotta focus on building community and stuff, which they will understand eventually. They will. But for right now, they need to take care of themselves before taking care of others. And I agree, everyone should be like, it just hurts me because a lot of people said like, here's the thing, like I want to do this because like I seen small people crying out like I want to have what they have. I want to have a small community. I want to have people to engage. I want to join with other peoples I never met before and collab with them, maybe become friends and stuff like that. Like, they want that experience. And some people, to a degree, want the money of that experience because they know they're financially in trouble and this could help them a lot and save. And that picture, the picture of all of that will happen. But if they're saying the reason why you're not getting this picture is because you're focused on... They don't know your financial shit. They don't know what financial hardship you're going through, because likely majority of the time it's because they're already financially free and they can just say that stuff. You're not financially free, so that means that they don't know your hardship. They don't know what the heck you're going through with your financial stuff. Once you finally get to understanding financial freedom of everything, then you look on the side of the rich people and then you start to realize, oh my god, that's why they were saying it, because I understand now. Because, like, without this pressure of me thinking about money and, like, else, I can really enjoy my community. I can really build a community. I can make very good engagement and stuff like that. The beauty of it. And I think that's perfect. I think that's lovable. And it's really... That's what... the bottom line... Okay, so I know I rambled on. The bottom line is this. If you are a small streamer struggling to get some sort of... You are not a bad person thinking about the money side. You are extremely not, because you have your financial situations that you need to think of, okay? If you're a snob, with the job, someone has, like, a control over their finances and has some sort of, like, extreme financial relief, do not tell the smaller people not to focus on the money. Do not, because guarantee-wise... Regardless, with or without the job of the smaller streamer, you're still thinking of the money. Like, there's still other things you need to worry about. Even rare occasions, like, I don't know, you go to the hospital. That takes forever. Until you are financially free, you don't understand how it is with paying the bill. And then for rich people, they can only say that because they're financially free. That's what they say, and that's why they need... Because already past, like, financial freedoms, and that's why they're giving you the advice. So, whenever a rich person says that, ignore them completely. If a small person says, like, don't focus on the money, ignore them completely. The only time you listen to them is when you're financially free. You just don't tell it to someone who is a smaller streamer who's still struggling to get to where at least somewhat success or, like, a very big success. That's what I was trying to... I feel like I said that to the best of my abilities, as best as I can. I've been really practicing that because I'm like, I don't want to sound like, oh my god, like I'm only in this for the money. That is not true whatsoever. The only reason why I need the money in the first place is to pay my bills and stuff. And believe me, like if I make a fuck ton of money, the rule number one is to be generous. Like give it to charities, give it to other people. Like be generous. Like know the money that you can spend, but you also need to know the money that you need to rate to stay in this financial freedom, and all the extra stuff can go to other people in need. That's all I'm trying to say. And for people who are better than the people who are for the money, don't do it for the money. The only time you get to say that is because you're financially free. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, yay. Okay, I'm kind of glad I said that. Now we're gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna set up my next stream schedule. That's what I'm to say. I suck at this, I know, about explaining things. If it's a topic I'm really good on, I ramble and I mess up. So that means I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit here.